Each show, trying my best to deliver a message so people can know that there's help out there. And each time, I find myself remembering I forgot to talk about the survivors, the people who are left trying to figure out why, trying to figure out what they missed, trying to figure out how they could have missed it. If you're one of those people who was thinking about taking your life, take a second to think about all the people who's going to miss your smile. Take a second to think about all the people who's going to miss your laugh, your jokes, your sarcasm, some anger that you display. Think about all the people that's going to miss just knowing that you were there, knowing that you're breathing. Before you make a decision that we have to live with, make one you can live with and get help. 3 numbers, 988. That's all it takes. 3 numbers, 988. That's all we're asking you to do is to keep fighting, keep the battle alive, and keep pushing. Now let's talk football.
Welcome to Detroit. Hey, they gonna feel us today. We play our better football. What the thing? Fight me.
Pride Nation, we back at it again. Long time coming. It's playoff football. Y'all, listen, let me repeat again. It's playoff football. The Lions don't play until 8:15 tonight. But it's a playoff football game at Ford Field tonight. I know this might be hard for some of the people in the back to believe it, but it's playoffs. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it slow. Playoff football Sunday. I'm excited. I'm going to have a few rants today. I'm giving y'all pre-warning now. I'm going to have a few rants. I've seen some things that I'm a little concerned with. And also, I'm going to be breaking down how I see this game going and how we can win these games and the keys to winning these games. Today is one of them games that I'm excited that the Lions will have a chance to be a part of. I'm excited because it's going to be at home. But let me be clear. I'm also excited because I believe we win in this game. Yeah, I said that. I'm excited because I believe we win in this game. All right? And guess what? You should too. Let's get into this thing, man. Let's see who in the building with me. Let's see who rocking with me today. It's Sunday. Y'all know I usually don't get on like this, but obviously I had a chance and I had to do it. We got my man Barbarian Lion in the building that says, hey, Luke, do you believe that we will beat the Rams tonight? Pretty much everyone not a Lion fan doesn't believe so. Wait till I get into it. We got my man One Funky Lions fan, so hit that like button. We got my man Marcus Land in the building. He says he's in this boy. We got my man Chris Cashbar in the building. We got my man Makai Kaito, I hope I said that right. Dre Barnes is in the building. T-Mac 2023 is in the building. We got Jacob Burnley in the building. Lions fan Express is in the building. My other better-looking twin, Anthony from Royal Lions UK, says tonight the Lions are going to treat the Rams like Luke treats ketchup. Despise that damn ketchup. We got my man Billy Venable in the building. Makai Holt is in the building. D-Map Zuna is in the building. Perry Ball is in the building. KMG King is in the building. We got my man Juan W in the building. William Birch is in the building. So let's go crazy tonight. And my man Bulgarians is in the building. And Charles Davis is in the building. I'm finna get right into it right off rip. Some of you Lions fans have really truly ticked me off. You have truly found a way to piss me off. You have. I sat through this whole week and I listen to every YouTuber, because it's not just Lions fans, it's YouTubers, it's local media, right? Like it's a whole plethora of you, and you have started a narrative that is so false, that is such BS, that I'm offended that you are even a Lion fan. I'm offended because you are trying to do something that is hot garbage. This is playoff football, and the Lions have a home game against a team that they outmatched. They should just beat. But the narrative pushed was the big bad Matthew Stafford. Now, as a Matthew Stafford fan, as a Matthew Stafford defender, this is a bunch of BS. What happened to y'all? Where's the competitive attitude of y'all at? I'm listening to radio, YouTubers. I'm listening to all these people talking about the big bad Matthew Stafford and the Rams. What happened to y'all? Where did that shit come from? When did you all of a sudden decided that the Rams are a dangerous team? I would rather play the Packers. Why? So you can play a team that's seen what you do twice? Because that's great. Why? You got people out here pushing a trash narrative about the big bad Matthew Stafford and the Rams. And for what? And it's not just fans. It's media. It's other YouTubers pushing this trash-ass narrative. And there's nothing nobody can tell me that makes the Rams so special. Well, Luke, they got Cooper Kupp. We got an Amon-Ra St. Brown. Well, they got a Puka Noah. And I got a whole entire receiving core, even if my starting tight end don't play, will still perform. Well, Luke, they can run the ball. Did you not see we got two rushers who almost had 1,000 apiece? One of them came up, 15? What did he come up? I forgot. He had 945, I want to say it was. So he came up 50-some yards short. Okay. What do they do good? What is it that got people scared? What is it that has fans all in their emotions about this? Why is media pushing this narrative? You are at home. I'm listening to people talk about, should you boo Mac? You damn Skippy, you boo him. What do you mean, should you boo him? Unless you are his birth mother, father, his direct brother or sister, you boo whoever's on the other side. You don't care until the clock strikes 0-0 to exchange pleasantries. I don't understand where this narrative comes from. Why are we doing this? All of a sudden, we should be fearing the Rams. Why? I like my team, flaws and all. And we should outmatch them every step of the way. Every time I heard somebody talk about it, they only talked about the offense. And when they talked about the defense, those 2 D tackles. Okay. And you're at home. You should win this game. And it shouldn't be close. It shouldn't even be near close. It's been 30 years. If you can hear yourself think in that stadium and you in that stadium, go to sleep. Because this is ridiculous. It's been 30 years. If you don't walk out of there and your voice ain't gone, I don't know what you was doing while you was there. But to be sitting up here acting like we should be afraid, horrified by Matthew Stafford and the Rams, I will not have it. I cannot have it. It's simple. Dion, ask him.
What's up, boss? You believe that? You hold on. Oh no. Do you believe that? Huh? Do you believe?
And if you are not a believer, get the hell out the way for the rest of us believers. If you are one of them people who are concerned about the Rams, you are stressed out trying to figure out if we can stop Matthew Stafford, where was that same energy at when half of y'all was screaming, get him the hell out of town? Now all of a sudden he's Matthew Stafford. Where was that energy? Half the fans, media, and every person who's talking like this were the same people saying, get him the hell up out of here. And I get it. If you're not used to the situation, that's good. Shut the hell up. If you're not. Shut the hell up, take it all in, and learn. Could a team lose? Sure, everybody can lose. But the bottom line is you are at home. It's been 30 years. You have no respect. And the only thing I keep hearing is how we hyping up Matthew Stafford. Let me show something because I want to point out some things just so people can calm the hell down. And these things ain't gonna make you feel better. Okay? They're not gonna make you feel better. I want you to be aware of this. All right? But I want to show it. So bear with me. To the people who are out there that don't believe, to the people who are not sure, that are a little confused, yesterday something very special happened. You know what that was? The number one scoring offense was the Miami Dolphins in terms of touchdowns, and they lost. You know what? A top 2 defense, if not number 1 total in defense, lost yesterday. You had an offense who's number 1 in scoring. I think they scored, 1 touchdown? You had a defense who gave up, technically they gave up 2 pick sixes. So we'd take that off their 35, but it's like 31 points. Well, Luke, why does that matter? Why? What is that? Because that ranking BS means nothing. It's a matchup game. And believe it or not, the Lions have the better matchups. And if I know it's hard to believe. I know it's even harder to believe coming from a person who's been very critical of his general manager, who he has not wavered on his opinion about and his lack thereof of doing things that I think will set us up to go further than ever. But that's not the point. The matchups are in our favor. When I hear people talk about this game, I'm hearing a whole lot about Matthew Stafford. Well, you know what? They got some young guys playing tackles. So you know what? I like the matchups of our veterans to whoop the young guys at tackles butt, including Aiden Hutchinson. I like that matchup. When they sitting there talking about Cooper Kupp and Puka, you know what? I hate to be the bearer of bad news. The Lions' problems ain't dealing with good receivers. It's dealing with fast receivers who can get down the field quick. That's not Puka and that's not Kupp. I like that matchup. Put whoever you want on them. I like the matchup. You want to take away Kupp? I feel good with Branch on him. You think Puka is somebody special? I don't care who you put on him. Oh, but they got a running back. Well, we got linebackers who seem to have activated a whole new level of it. This ranking stuff means diddly squat. The Lions got a beautiful chance to do something else to break some more curses, and that's win a playoff game. And every fan should be behind it. No one should be concerned or worried about no damn Matthew Stafford. The Rams are a good team. Adam, you know I love me some you, but no. The Rams be in any other division besides the NFC West, and I promise you they not even in the playoffs. Let's just be honest. Maybe if they was in the NFC South. Maybe. Probably not. They're not that good for me to be sitting up there like hyping them up. I'm sorry. And shout out to my man Adam, in case y'all don't know who that is. And my man Bandit from Bandit Sports, in case y'all don't know who that is. I don't see it, people. This is one of them games to show why we belong there. When you look at it, like my man Will say, there's not a better time for us to get hot than right now. and keep it going. Keep the heat going. Keep the pressure on them. Perry Ball says, my concern is our defense. I hope our defense comes to play. Play who? We have a problem with mobile quarterbacks and fast receivers going deep. They ain't got that. They ain't got that. I think Stafford throws 2 interceptions this game. Trying to get the ball to his guys. Because I expect for our pressure to be on them. I don't see this hype train that they're giving them. I don't. Like my man Vocal Coyote says, the Rams are a decent team, but there's a reason they're 10-7. They have flaws that the Lions will exploit and win. I believe that. But when I'm seeing messages from people say stuff like, I'd rather play the Packers, I believe the Packers are getting ready to beat the Cowboys. I do. And you might even get your chance to play them. But for this game, damn that. Let's go out and stump them out. Stump them out. I can care less about the rest of the stuff. Shout out to my man Old Timer Dave, my Packer subscriber here. This is a game. If the players aren't on their toes, they could get their ass whooped. Every game is playoffs, and when you're in the playoff, everything is heightened. I should be able to know who farted and everything. Why? Because my senses are at a point to where I'm paying attention to everything. That's how I see it. When Stafford, Puka, Kupp, and Kyrie are on the field together, they are the best offense in the league statistically. Their interior rush is tough, especially what our guards have been. Then you run stretch plays. This is not hard. The only challenge here is making sure you don't beat yourself. There is no juggernaut coming into Ford Field today. Just a lot of fans who was concerned that old curses can come up. Old superstitions can now arise. This is playoff football talk, people. The rankings, statistics, and all that out the window. I've seen it too many times in the playoffs where all these people come in, rank high, doing all these great things, out the window. No one cares. Toss it out. Why? Because at the end of the day, none of it matters. What you do on the day is what matters. And if you are not ready to come into this game with an attitude to play to win this game by halftime, then your ass shouldn't be on the field. We should not be in the playoffs. We should not be given the opportunity or be in a position in the first place. If we can't go in and just simply say, you know what? I'm coming in with a purpose. I know that Amon-Ra St. Brown is. I know Aiden Hutchinson is, because they're still mad about what happened with the Cowboy game. But no matter how the path was drawn up, you need to come in with a sense of urgency and this attitude. That's what I want to see. And as a Lions fan, you should not be hyped. The statistics and all that means nothing. It means nothing. The team who wants it will get it. Like let me put it out there. This is a show for you people. For the people to come in and talk about. I'm putting the link in early and everything. Why? Because I want to talk to people. I'm tired of the narrative. I got simple keys to this game. It's not hard. Very simple. Aiden Hutchinson and whoever's playing opposite of him need to whoop ass. Say it with me. Whoop ass. That's all you got to do. Because when you start doing that, you can get to Stafford. You can make things happen. Both teams got a problem giving up big plays. But I'm looking at it like we need to be coming in with an attitude of putting pressure on them. But whoop ass is what I'm expecting from them two, whoever those guys are. I got my first guest coming in the building. Let me bring my man's Uncle Rumble 81 in the building. Rumble, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Luke, man? What's up, chat, man?
Listen, it's Sunday. It's Lions playoff football. It's cold as hell outside, and I'm excited. I want to know what your thoughts are about the game. What you expect for them to happen, and also, I don't know if you like me, but I'm expecting a whole lot of whoop ass. That's just me.
I am too. Look here, man. These guys are, any team that we have ties with, our team seems to take it up another notch. Obviously, we do have ties with the Rams. We got their old quarterback and their old GM assistant. But yeah, man, these boys are ready. They've been putting on for the city all year. There's no doubt in my mind that Stafford is going to. We need to, like you said, make Stafford uncomfortable. He needs to be tasting that Ford Field turf. And we need to implement no-fly zone. I need 2 or 3 picks from Stafford. I need there to be no doubt left in that field tonight. And I'm predicting the Lions, like you are, to go out there and whoop ass, like you said. I think we're going to score 40 points. And let's not beat around the bush, man. We've given Dan slack. We've been giving him shit for going, or excuse me, cursing, but we've been giving him crap for going for it. We've been giving him crap,
Not me.
A gamble.
Me. I have it. I love it.
Right. This is one of them games where, much like he did against Sean Payton this year, man, if we're on the 2-yard line and go for it. I don't care what the score is, man.
Yep.
Like, let them guys eat. Let them eat. I don't care about, you can throw all the BS out the window, man. We're not here to make friends. Yes, Stafford, you were here, but you're no longer here. So we're here to make friends. We're here to put the NFC on notice. And we're here to let the NFL know they're going to have problems with us if we make it deeper than the playoffs. So, yeah, man, Ford Field needs to be rocking.
Yeah, it's one of the things for me where I'm looking at the advantages. You got a home game for the first time. Every person who coming to drink in the game sober, God bless you, but you should walk out without a voice. Your eardrums should be almost paralyzed, okay? And I shouldn't even be able to hear the cadence. I should not be able to hear blue, nothing, red. I don't want to hear no cadence because it should be that loud in there. And then on top of that, I expect for when they are on offense, for our defense to be like a bunch of raising killer bees. I want them to just be swarming and moving constantly, creating problems and visions and stuff. And then after the game, once we won convincingly, because I got us winning by 10. Really, I got us winning by more than 10, but I'm being generous. By 10, and once that's over with, then we can talk about it. We'll bring in the rest of it. So I'm just saying, keep it 100 with me and just go out and handle your business. We have the better matchups. I mean,
yeah.
Look at their team. Defensively, once you talk about Ernest, who I think can't cover the running back out the backfield no matter who it is, whether that be David Montgomery, whether that be Gibbs, he ain't covering them. Okay. Ernest, Turner, Donald.
Yep.
Then who else? Because everything is happening within that front 7.
Yes, exactly. I agree with you.
So I'm just saying.
We know Gibbs doesn't need much room to make a player miss. I mean, he's been doing that all season. We know we got an O-line that is very mobile. So if you get those guys out there, moving around, especially like Panay, and he's your lead blocker, I don't give a fuck what your linebacker is. I give him that nod all day. I think Panay will be able to. And then we have wide receivers who love to block too. So this is, dare I say it, this is the most complete team Detroit has on the offensive side of the ball. They all block for one another, and they don't care who gets the shine. And it's gonna be a thing of beauty, man, tonight. So
yeah, let me bring in my man William. I'm gonna put you to the back real quick. Just hold tight for me, Rumble, and I'll bring us all back in at once. My man William Burgess in the building. Will, what up, though?
How you doing, Luke? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I mean, how you feeling about this game? I seen a lot of talk about Matthew Stafford, the big bad wolf. He's gonna come in here and huff and puff and blow down Ford Field. What are your thoughts on this game? Because for me, this is an easy win.
Man, I love Matthew Stafford to death. What he did for the city, like, I'll never put it behind him. But, like, even Calvin Johnson said it. He's coming to our home now. He left our home. He chose to leave our home. As much as I love him, he can get out of here with that disrespect. He chose not to go through this rebuild. He chose to go somewhere else. So, no, like, as much as I love him, for this game, he's going to war. There's no, like, there should be no reserves about that.
No, and the worst part about it is, like I said, these narratives that's being pushed by people is BS. And people need to understand this. You did not want Green Bay this first game. Green Bay knows you very well. Okay? And Green Bay, the game that they had on Thanksgiving, I don't really count that as a big deal because you had a short week. You had a bunch of games in a short period of time. So, okay, cool. You dropped it. All right, it is what it is. But
it
nonetheless,
was also before the defensive turnaround where I'll say our defense, these past, like, ever since Thanksgiving, our defense has been a monster. Like, creating pressure, getting turnovers. Like, I don't care if we're giving up 24 points. If we're getting 2 turnovers, we're getting possessions back for our offense. Yes, I'll take that every day of the week. That's just, and one thing I will also say, we aren't reusing blitzes. Like, from week to week, it almost feels like Aaron Glenn sat all season drawing up every exotic look his mind could imagine. And just, all right, it's the final stretch. Let's start unloading this clip. And just, I mean, there was one last game that was insane. It was a double A gap mug look. We have 6 guys at the line. We blitz the interior guys, drop the DNs out. If he's coming from the field to the A gap, I mean, like, crazy looks. Absolutely crazy stuff. And I'm so happy because it feels like we are just a dynamic defense and we are not giving anyone the same look week to week. So it's tough as hell for them to get a beat on what we're going to do.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm not usually trying to just be different. I just see it differently. I think that the biggest issue that you saw with the defense early on and now was just the fact that players started executing. It's just that simple. You don't execute, you go to the bench, and that was the message that was sent: execute or go to the bench. And I love that they took that approach because for the longest there were people who was out there who just wasn't executing. Hell, we can go back as far as to the Cowboy game where. Perfect example is you get a perfect blitz dialed up, and Derek Barnes just, I can't even call it a whiff, right? But when you don't execute, you have mistakes. And there are still other issues that we have, but in this game, they do a lot of their work from those inside slot positions, and I'm sorry, I feel good about those matchups. I do. I feel really, really good about it. I feel like when looking at this game, the Lions come out, score, we get a stop, we score again, then they finally score, then we score again, and we just keep putting the pressure on them. I think this is the game where they're going to put too much attention on Amon-Ra St. Brown, especially with him being given the all-pro nod, first team, and they're going to start to realize, holy smoke, we got to stop all these other weapons. And I don't think they can do it. I expect us to win this game and not even lose a breath of fresh air in doing it. I really do believe that we should win this game by more than 2 scores. I believe that.
I think the biggest area of concern in my eyes for how this would play out would be their interior pass rush Kobe Turner has played like the best defensive tackle in the rookie class, just pass rush wise. And Aaron Donald is Aaron Donald. He's always going to be a threat. So Stafford's shown it all year. If he is protected, this offense is humming. If he isn't protected, we're going to have issues. So as long as we can keep those 2 guys that interior rush handled, our offense is going to go crazy.
32 teams start the year off battling for a chance to get to the Super Bowl and win it, right? In 32 teams, I can put that statement if the quarterback is protected. I can care less about perfect scenarios because guess what? The Lions should be creating all the most uncomfortable scenarios. All I've been hearing are these false pro football focus stats about pressure. Damn that. Get the quarterback down. Get him to the ground. Let's end drives. Keep the turnovers going and score on the turnovers. If it's one area that I want to see the Lions improve upon today, is when you get a goddamn turnover, score on it. Because we have not been doing that. We getting turnovers and been getting turnovers and not getting points off of it. Score on it. In fact, talking about keys to the game, I talked about Aiden Hutchinson versus these young tackles and whoever's playing opposite of him, right? Because these are some of the things. But another key that I had was smart aggression, coach. I want him to stay the course of his aggressive play calling on fourth downs and stuff, but be smart about it. Some situations don't call for it, right? Make sure that when you're doing it in an area where, hey, it's not going to put your defense behind the 8 ball. So smart aggression. But as far as that, yeah, I expect for them to put a lot of the onus on them. Yeah, boo Stafford. If it's a coach, a scout, if it was a sponsor who sponsored the Lions and now sponsors the Rams, boo their ass too. Okay? I don't care if Stafford comes there with his wife and kids. If the kids got on Rams uniform, boo them too. Until the game is over, we are not friends. We're not. You're in the way of what I want. And at the end of the day, what I want, I'm going to get if it means eliminating you. After I eliminate you, we can hug it out. That's the mentality I want them to come in with. What else you got for us before I add another guest in and then hold you off to the back? What else?
Nothing too much. Just optimism is forever. The game ain't done until the clock hits 0. Just remember that. So whether we're up, we got to keep coming. We got to keep winning. If we're down, there's always a shot. Always. Football's a wild game.
It is. I mean, like I said, I had the Texans beating the Browns yesterday. I suspected that the Texans were going to beat the Browns up. I felt like the Joe Flacco story was a good story. It was, it was a good story, but I felt like your defense can only do so much when you don't have a complementary offense. And one of the things that the Lions have had a problem with is not playing complementary football. But when they play complementary football, there's no question or no doubt that who we are. And that's what's going to have to happen today. And that's what I suspect will happen. There will be a lot of complementary football from special teams to defense to offense. Everyone will complement everyone. And I think Stafford is going to walk away because they're going to mic them up and we're going to hear about it later. He's going to say, hey, man, congratulations. I'm happy for y'all. Go out and win the whole thing. That's going to happen. But until then, okay, and again, this is from a Stafford fan, a Stafford defender. F him. F him. Like, that's just the way I see it. Until this game is over, I can care less about the Stafford talk. I don't see a guy who I should be worried about. I just don't. Sorry. I'm not sorry about it, to be honest with you. Well, let me put you to the back, man. Let me see who else we got in the building coming in, my brother. Just hang tight. And then we'll reconvene. We got my man Crimson Shadow coming in the building. What's going on, Crimson?
Oh, hey, nothing much. Long time no see.
Hey, listen, man. I see you got on your Lions hat and your Lions gear. You said, who thought the Texans were going to blow out the Elves?
I mean, who the heck thought they were going to get 45 on that defense?
Well, they did get 45. You got to think there was 2 pick sixes. There was 2 pick sixes. So the 2 pick sixes taken off of it, but I get your point.
Yeah, I mean, 45, that blew my mind. I mean, I expected it to be like a low-scoring game. I thought Flacco was just going to revert back to usual Flacco, but I didn't expect like 45.
Yeah, and like I said,
but
so
yeah,
what do you got for it? Because I mean, again, and I'm gonna talk about the Laporta talk too, because I think it's funny because this the same fan base that I heard we don't need tight ends, and now tight end goes down. Oh God, what are we gonna do?
I mean, I don't know. I asked that. I'm not really too worried about it. I still like Brock. Brock was fine with us when we traded Hawk, and he's still a competent enough tight end. But like I said, I'm sharing the same sentiments with you when it came to like Stafford. It's like when he won the Super Bowl. Everyone's all celebrating about it. I'm just like sitting here in the back going, you know how much of an effing insult that is to see the first year and he wins an effing Super Bowl? That is so backhanded. And the fact we were celebrating that, it just still makes me want to puke.
But the reality of it is this. All that can be handled just by the Lions coming out, handling business, and getting things done the way it's supposed to be getting done.
Exactly.
This is a business trip that we get to travel at home. We didn't have to leave the state, so
Right.
it's a business trip. Show up and show out.
I'll be
a
honest.
fan base.
I can't be the only one thinking this looks like the most scripted ass game I ever seen. This feels like a WWE matchup almost. It just feels so effing fabricated and fake to me. I'm like, Stafford's coming back in a playoff game. It's like this feels like some WWE what do you call it? Pay-per-view shit I'm looking at here. I'm like, what the heck? This looks so fucking scripted.
Listen, this is what I don't want to do. And it's not towards you, Crimson. I just want to put this out there. If you believe that this game is scripted, rigged, all the other stuff you coming up with, don't watch this shit. Seriously, don't watch it. If you believe that it's so slanted and so set up and so scripted that every person's in on it, from everybody minus the fans, you should not watch this product.
It all just really matters.
The reason I don't like that narrative is because once you go down that road, it sounds like we're presetting an excuse if things don't go our way. But if the script say we win, what a great win. So I don't want to hear about scripts. I don't want to hear about theories. I don't want to hear about all that other stuff because
by all means, if we lose, it's our own damn fault.
At the end of the
Cowboys
day,
game.
If you believe that, just don't watch it. That's all I'm saying. Just don't watch it.
Like I say, man, it's like the freaking Cowboys game where everyone felt like Jerry Jones or whatever paid that shit off. No, we fucked ourselves. There's no doubt about it. We screwed ourselves over and we kept trying to go for it. Don't get me wrong. I don't blame Dan for not trusting his defense. Fuck, I don't trust them half the time. I expect this game to be a gun show.
No, I disagree with that statement too. Because at the end of the day, what do you like? I'm not trying to be funny. You're playing to win the game. And everybody's going. This is the thing that I love about people. Everybody complains about Dan Campbell going for it on fourth down, only when we don't get it. But when we get it, the balls on him. He's got big balls. His balls should be seen from the back. Look how huge them nuts is. That's how everybody talks about him when it works. But when it doesn't work, then everybody's critical. And I never heard Golden State Warrior fans be like, man, we just shoot too many threes. Who you are, you will live and die by your decisions. And if those decisions are, you're going for it on fourth down, cool. But what the Lions did is set up a trend where it forced other people to say, well, we got 4 downs, let's go for it. And I'm cool with that. But I don't want to hear about this complaining about that. When I say I want him to have smart aggression, I want smart aggression where he's able to do certain things.
Yeah, but you also don't want to hear about, us going back to the whole blame the refs thing and just let the refs be the crutch thing as well. We've lived on that narrative for a long-ass time as well.
Which narrative? One more time.
The refs always fuck us. It's always we're never going to get anywhere because of the refs. You know that narrative. It's been around for years.
Listen, this is what I'm saying right here. Listen, this is playoff football. All that. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Again, this is not at you, Crimson. This is to any fan who believes this. All that loser mentality shit, please leave the chat. I don't want to hear that same old Lion loser mentality shit. The same way y'all was acting like y'all was afraid of going against the Rams. Take that loser mentality somewhere else. On today's channel, we are talking about a winner's mentality, a mentality that is meant for champions, a mentality that is meant for people who want to win, who want to like winners. And all I'm saying is this. If you are of the belief of a lot of this losing mentality, I don't want to hear about no officiating. I don't want to hear about no going for it on fourth down. I don't want to hear. What I want to hear is real football conversations about a real football game that evolves around real football decisions that equates to winning. How do we beat a Rams team? How does the Rams team possibly beat us? But all the rest of the stuff, the officials and that, not today. Catch me when the game is over. I might be more open to it. But that's a loser's mentality.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't need the team to think that either. It needs to all be win, win, win. And we got a lot of guys in here with that mentality. Amon-Ra, I can only imagine how effing hyped up he's getting right now. Oh my God. Or Aiden, for God's sakes. It's good to see Aiden's getting hot later in the season. Perfect timing. And I think James Houston, he's also playing today as well. Or is that limited?
Listen, I think they saying that James Houston could be available. I think that Laporta does play, but he plays in a limited role. Probably goal line if at all that. And if he don't play, I don't care. I like the fact that they went on to put James Mitchell to the IR because I think Brock Wright will get you more production. Yes. And I'm okay with them doing this because when you look at when they added Frisky, they're adding people who they can continue to run the ball with. So I'm cool with that. I'm not worried about if J-Mo playing or not. If he do, great, because he's going to have a big day. But if he don't, great. They still got problems with trying to stop all the other receivers.
I mean, it sucks to lose Raymond. I love me some Khalif Raymond. It really sucks to lose him.
So I'm just saying we got people that can perform. I'm not worried about that. I believe that the Lions will show up. I believe that they will win this game. Everybody got problems. What else you got for me, Chris, before I bring in one more guest and then we try to converge on it and have a conversation? I cannot with the loser's mentality today.
I get that. I do. But you're going to have, dang well, I'm just warning the things that I'm like, oh, dear Lord, I can already see this shit coming a mile away. And I'm like, I pray it doesn't. I do not want to hear this all fucking month or I'll hear it for a year. I know that for a fact. But
he's saying that James Houston is out. Mitchell has broken hand. He's out. Laporta is trending north. So he's questionable. All right.
Great. So, that's why he's on IR. But, if you want to beat a Rams team, we need to get in Stafford's face. You cannot let that man get deep balls. He sucks at the short throw, but damn can he throw himself a laser. Shut Cup down. Shut Pakunu, whatever the heck his name is, down, for the love of God. And for the love of God, protect Goff from Darnold. If Darnold gets anywhere near him, we're screwed. For the love of God, everyone needs to wake up. Goff needs to be on his A game for this. I expect him to be.
All right, I hear you. Let me bring in my next guest, man. Hang back in the back for me. Like I said, I'll bring us all back in. We have an open discussion. I'm just too stoked. I'm only looking for real football answers. I'm not, everybody got an opinion and it's all great, but can your opinion have a little bit of like substance behind it? Like, can you tell me something I don't know? Can you tell me something that lines up with football? Right? Like, tell me, hey, they got Aaron Donald. He's been doing this and he's getting this and this and this. Okay, give me that. So I can respond to that. I can't respond to the same old Lion fan being worried, already setting up excuses in case we don't do what we should do, which is handle our business. Let me bring in Bandit from Bandit Sports. What's up, brother?
What it do, Luke?
Man, your voice already gone? You already screaming for the Lions?
Yeah, already. We had a show earlier already. We need to change the narrative of this game. This is not Stafford's game. This is Goff's game.
Exactly.
Like, I've been here. They brought it up earlier. Like, we're so tired of hearing about Stafford that we don't hear about Goff. You feel me? Like, how that whole Rams organization gave up on him. How they traded him away with 2 first-round picks because they didn't believe in him. They believed in somebody else. You feel me? So, Stafford wanted traded. We just traded him on our own. He wanted that. We gave that man what he wanted. Hey, compliments to him to go get a championship out of there, but he's coming back into our house. We should boo the hell out of him. You feel me? Like, we thank for what Stafford did, but this whole narrative about the Stafford, this is Goff's game. To prove everybody wrong.
That's the thing. I told people last year, if you were so confident and so hyped about your quarterback, aka Goff, you pay him now. No, you got to give him another year. Okay, well, here we are. Get behind him because that's what you asked for. You asked for another year for him to do it, so get behind him. These narratives about all this, people forget. Is Stafford coming back to no, what about, how, like you said, how they treated freaking Goff? You don't think he pissed about it? You don't think he's stoked to have a game at home and beat the coach who said that he couldn't do it and trade it and beat the guy who they traded for, who they said could do it, who went on to win a Super Bowl? You don't
trade you to a place where people trade players to die. When they trade you to Detroit, they don't plan on you to do nothing. They plan on your career is about to come to the end. They want his career to come to the end. Change that whole narrative, bro, and bring this city back to where we are right now. This is Goff's game, man. Like,
and to be honest with you, I hate to say this because this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but they're not gonna like it though. This ain't even a game for Goff to win. This is a game for Goff to manage because we should be running the ball to nauseum. Because I'm telling you right now, if you wanted to go by all those rankings and all those stats and all that BS, if you wanted to go by, they giving up a lot of rushing yards. And our running backs, both of them, know how to make the first person miss every single time.
Look, I got a question. Can you name me anybody in the secondary?
That was my question. That was my question. Who is those guys that we should be worried about? They acting like we going to get that Super Bowl team that had Ramsey and all these other people. No, we're not doing that.
And this is not a prime Aaron Donald. This is Donald in his last couple years. So like, he's not that dominant player that he was a couple years ago.
It's like this is the reality of it. You know, like I know people don't want to believe it, but this is the reality of it. I just want people to move past these narratives. I'm sorry. Like I said it earlier. Every time I hear people talk, all they talk about is the offense. Like, okay, you talk about the offense. If we give up 24, we should score 38. I'm sorry. They give up a lot of big plays too. And I mean, we got guys with the speed to do it.
I'm looking for a big game from Iffy too. If it is a defensive playmaker, he'll change it on this defense.
There's one person, and I'm telling y'all right now, there's one person who can single-handedly change this game and wreck this whole entire thing for them. There's one person. Y'all ready for it? You listening, Bandit?
I'm listening.
Aiden Hutchinson.
Yes, sir.
You have to whoop the tackle's ass. There's no reason why this particular tackle, who many may argue has played well, there's no reason why you should not be whooping on this tackle. There's no reason.
You should be bodying that boy, man.
Every time
not whooping him, bro. You should be bodying him, bro.
They should be working the hell out these tackles. Aleem McNeil gonna do his part up the middle. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna keep it 100. Aleem McNeil gonna do his part, but Aiden Hutchinson is gonna sack the dinner table. Jared Goff simply has to serve the meal, and the run game is going to be the meal. I'm not looking for anything to be overcomplicated. I'm looking for us to close out drive 90% of our possessions, and I believe we can do that. If JMO plays this game, I expect that he's going to take the top off at least twice this game. If JMO don't play this game, good luck. We should be running the ball to the point that when they do throw the ball to St. Brown, there's nothing you can do.
You know when it happens when you serve out the meal? That's when that play action game get open, and that's St. Brown in the middle.
Exactly.
That's what you're looking for. On the deep streak.
That's what you're looking for. You're looking for matchups that they can't cover. And I'm not trying to be funny, but like when you go through and you look at this team, I'm not afraid of these people.
Not scared at all.
I'm not afraid of their safeties. I'm not afraid of their cornerbacks. We should be working their ass. Once you go Donald, Turner, Ernest Jones, we done talking. We done talking. If you're not putting up points, I don't know what to tell you. I don't. The Lions should be winning this game convincingly. Seriously. This is the perfect game that they brought Aiden Hutchinson in for. Now, you say you upset about how they treated you versus the Cowboys. Take some of it out on the Rams. That's all I'm saying. What else you got for me?
Oh, that was it. That's all I came here to do is change the narrative for it, man. This is Goff's game, not Stafford's game, man.
100%. I got the link in the chat. If you want to jump in, talk your talk, and get out, please do so. I'm going to bring everybody else back in with us, Bandit, so we can have an open discussion about it. I'm just giving a heads-up disclaimer. If you come in and you ain't ready to talk football to me, I'm going to call it because we're not accepting that loser's mentality today. We're not. I want football analysis.
Yes,
I want matchup conversations. I want to hear about I want to hear about why this person being out hurts the offense. Because I can tell you that the injuries that we got for this game don't bother me one bit. We should still win with those injuries. That's just my view. Let me bring everybody else back in. Just so to have a conversation. And again, y'all hear how I feel about it. I'm not convinced. I'm sorry. I'm just not convinced that I should be concerned. This is the game. And to me, here are the keys that I wrote down to the game. I'll let y'all respond to this when I give y'all these keys. I said, listen, the Lions are 5th in rushing. The Rams are 11th. Their rushing attack relies on a young rookie guy who has truly had a good season thus far, right? We got 2 running backs who should be killing them. I'm sorry. Aiden Hudson. Yes, I told you. He has to have that game to be like, this is why you bring him in. Because I know everybody got hyped about him making the Pro Bowl, but let's be honest. All pros is the only thing that matters. And
it really doesn't.
He's going to have to show why they snubbing him from the all-pro team is a mistake. This is the game to do it. Defense taking away Cooper Kupp. I'm not worried about Puka. Just take away Kupp. Take Kupp out of the equation because Kupp is more reliable than Puka. Puka gonna get his catches. But guess what? We've played teams and given up catches, a.k.a. Justin Jefferson. We've given that up. You still got to get pressure and get the quarterback down. Offense, no turnovers. I'm going to say this again. This the thing that's been killing me. Offense, please no turnovers. Take care of the ball. Treat the ball like it's your newborn baby. You wouldn't put that baby on the ground. Don't put my damn ball on the ground. I don't want turnovers. No interceptions, no fumbles, no bad snaps. I don't want none of that. I don't want to see none of that. I gave y'all a minimum of 3 penalties for the whole game. 3 penalties because y'all should be able to hear a rat piss on cotton when you on offense. So there's no reason to have mental miscues there. I got on there, smart aggression from the coach. Keep going for it on 4th down. But be mindful that how every situation sets up a different situation. Just because you went for it on 4th down, I'm listening. I'm the first one to tell you this. If we are in the red zone, 10 yards to the touchdown, to the end zone, on 4th, I'm going for it every single time.
Go for it.
Hey, man, add good clock management, please.
They're going to have to drive 90 yards at best to get down there and score. Take it.
And to your point, we know Stafford's going to throw the ball 45 times. We need to implement the no-fly zone. We got the secondary to do it.
Which is why my next point was secondary, stay ready, because these balls finna come your way. He's throwing the ball 45 times.
And that's why I said if he's going to be a big player maker in this game, because he's going to be down in that box blitzing, he's going to be sitting back. They ain't going to know what to do with Iffy. Then you got CJ, GJ running around there too. Two wild hawks, man, over some dead meat. You feel me?
So
exactly.
This one thing I try to explain to people. If you put Branch on Kupp, matter of fact, let's put Branch on Puka. Let's put CJ on Kupp. Right? You still got Iffy and Kirby in the just stay ready. The balls is coming towards you.
Facts.
Yes.
Seize the moment. He's got to throw the ball 45 times because they're not going to be able to run on us.
Hey, look, but what about this? What if they start off with Iffy on Kupp and then that corner blitz, and then you got CJ covering Kupp while he going that corner blitz? You can work it like that too, bro.
I mean, but this is the beauty of this matchup. So this is why I don't understand that narrative that, we got to play Stafford and the Rams, and I'd rather have played. No, this matchup is for you. There's no better matchup than this. This should be considered unfair. And I know there's some Ram fans in here who was like, he delusional. He just don't know. But I'm gonna be back when he
receivers ain't all that fast either.
Wait,
Cam Sutton has a problem with what? Cam Sutton has
a
problem with what? Fast, shifty receivers. These receivers are not fast, bro.
Go deep. So I'm just putting it out there.
I'm gonna make it even more simple. We've had Stafford for 12 years, and he is known to throw picks. So
yes, he's a better Carson Wentz.
Y'all had him for 3.
He's not a mobile quarterback. He's not mobile, so he's
now the last thing I got down as a key to my game. This is the big one because this is the one that people are not gonna realize is gonna have to happen. Get the tight ends super involved early because I'm gonna tell you right now, this idea that Laporta's gone and they're not gonna go to the tight end, get them involved. Get them involved because I don't care who if the tight end is Bandit, if the tight end is Crimson, if it's Will, if it's Rumble, throw the fucking ball to him. Make the linebacker still have to defend them. They didn't just get to the NFL because they gave somebody a reach around. Use them. Use them. Play the players that you have, and don't be afraid to do so. If you're going to run the ball, they're going to have to block. If you're going to throw the ball, they're going to have to catch. Use them. Okay? And I'm telling you right now.
James Mitchell on IR.
I know. It's a good reason he's on IR. I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. Remember, I'm on record. I hated that pick. I hated it. My soul hated it to this day. I hated it.
He was all right at Virginia
Tech. You ran short of the first. Don't even get me started. I don't even want to go down that road. But my point I'm trying to make is these are the keys that I see to us winning. Now, I can give you keys to us losing, but since it's hard for me to find as many as I found to win, that's a little bit tough. We ain't
gonna bring that bad juju up, man. Don't even bring that bad juju up, man.
Well, I'm just saying, exactly. I just put it out there.
Vegas is in our favor.
Like you said, we ain't the same old Lions. She just new freaking Lions, man. We ain't gonna bring no bad juju up, man.
But the reality is this: the Lions got to still go out and perform. The Lions themselves got to still go out and show up. And guess what? Part of that is you, the fans. You who going to the game. I would go to the game, but the last time I went to the game, I walked out with 19. And if you don't know what the first part of that is, I ain't got the energy to do it this time. I'm sorry.
That's an interesting fact Billy just brought up there.
Stafford coming back to Detroit and McVay trying to prove Goff was wrong. He's going to try to have Stafford throw at least 40 times.
Yeah, to Billy's point, though, last game he threw 55 times. Like, he's going to throw the ball over 35 times. Maybe I was wrong for saying 40, but
in this game, it's going to be over 40 times.
It's going
to be over 40 times because they're not going to be able to get a run game going. You know what I'm saying? Will, let me ask you a question. What do you see as the biggest obstacle for the Lions defense going into this game? Like what's that one thing that's like, look, if they don't contain this, it's going to be a long day.
That's the only thing I can think of, but that's all.
I don't know what happened to Will. Will.
Yes, sir.
What is that the biggest obstacle for the Lions defense? Like that one thing that you look at and you like, if they don't contain this, it's going to be a long day.
It's if we cannot create havoc with our front seven. That has been the biggest change up in the past 4 weeks. I believe All 22 Sports talked about it when he was on. At the beginning of the season, we tried a lot more vanilla looks where we were trying to just rush forward. We believe we'd get home with 4. But these past 5 weeks, I mean, we've been doing everything, throwing every ounce of spaghetti at the wall, bro. We've been doing everything we can to make them uncomfortable and get them looks they haven't seen before. So it's just, and like, I know people are happy with Vildor. I don't understand why.
I don't either. But they don't get. Listen, I told you you're not gonna get me.
Yeah.
I was doing it until you said that. I'm like, listen, this guy should not be starting, but we got to work with what we got to work with. But go ahead. I digress.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, we got Cam Sutton, who's a good number 2 corner. We don't have a legit. I mean, the rest of our corner room is a bunch of undrafted free agents. So, in my mind, we got to, like, that's why our pressure rate has amped up so much. If we can just get pressure on the quarterback, it'll alleviate some of the pressure that's on our cornerback room. Where we know they can't, cover for very long. So, let's make sure they don't have to.
And you know what? Like I said, this is one of them games where this is why you get taken second overall. Now, I love that we got a Rams fan in here. Shout out to Dan. Dan, you are more than welcome to jump on. All you need is a phone with a microphone. Feel free to hop in here and have a good conversation. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings one way or the other. I'm gonna have an honest conversation with you. But Rams too good against the run. Now, I didn't make this up. And I could care less about these rankings, people. Just bear with me, though. It's not the rankings that I'm looking at. It's this number. You see this? Let's look at that.
Carry.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but in rough math, just take the 0.2 part out, leave a 4. If I run the ball 2 times, that's 8 yards, right? Because 4 plus 4
is 8. It's a first down.
Okay.
Yep,
and
89
then
yards.
that means it's probably 3rd and 2, which means, and I'm getting 4 for that one too, right? Hypothetically. So that's 12 yards. So 4 times 3 is 12. I mean, my math is still on point, right? Russian defense is good against the run, giving up 4 yards a carry. Somebody talk to me.
I mean, you also can add in.
Sorry, go.
I mean, you're also going to add in how much can Gibbs and Monty can get on average. You could throw that in there too. They're a little above average when it comes to most running backs they go against.
And this brings me to my next point, but I'll let my man Will give his point. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, so he's saying Rams too good against the run. They allow 107 yards a game. We allow 88. Like, if we're talking punch for punch about, we can do this well, you're saying you got a little bit, you got like a $20 steak looking at $100 steakhouse, bro. I don't think that's the right argument against us, right, man?
But I look at it like this too. And again, Dan is a Rams fan. He's supposed to support his team, right? Make no mistake about that. He's supposed to support his team. But Dan, if y'all giving up 4.2 yards a game, and Jahmyr Gibbs is averaging 5.2, that tells me that we should be able to run the ball on y'all.
Oh, you're gonna learn today.
That tells me that. And if you still feel like, well, we'll take him out, great. You snuffed him, right? You stopped him. Because we're not ranked high rushing for a reason. We're 5th in rushing for a reason, but David Montgomery's still getting 4.6. So
you're gonna have to stop both, and that's a high challenge right there.
A very high challenge. And so when you start to go to the rushing offense, when you start to just look at that part of it, if you broke this down into yards per carry, you've seen things like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Lions are still ranked 5th. Y'all down here. The problem is when you go to the Russian defense, see, that's where stuff gets different. That's where it changes. Because you have to come all the way back up. Readjust this thing to see that they're only giving up 3.7. So that Russian thing that you talking about, unless you finna commit to 30 carries, I ain't concerned about. I'm just being honest. We should be running the ball.
And my question is with this is, are they giving up like yak yards? Are they being dragged for yards? Are they giving up big holes and guys that are finesse dudes like Gibbs just blasting through the hole? What are they giving up? What's this defense's weakness here? I'm wondering on this D line.
You talking about for the Rams?
Yes. Do they
I
give
think
up holes?
I think what you're saying is this. I think that a lot of those runs that you're getting are the fact that they do have interior help, but if I run a stretch play or I run a trap play, it's working. You know what I mean? Like you know what? Nope. First of all, I love people like this. Nobody talks. Okay, I need this. My man Dan said he gonna show up and talk about it. Dan.
Hey man. Hey, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you, Dan.
Yes,
Dan,
sir.
you my hero. You
I
my
respect
hero,
Dan.
Hey, just so you know, I'm driving through the mountains. I might lose signal. I don't know. But
Okay. Talk to me, Dan. You now first. Let's be clear. You're a Rams fan.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's talk about it. Talk to me, brother.
Hey, also, just like y'all, since I'm driving, I can't pull up stats in front of me now, but I'm gonna tell you what I know.
That's fair.
Tell you what I know. When I say the Rams defense is too good, I don't know what's been factoring into it. Maybe the defenses have to abandon the run because they got to keep up with the Rams points-wise, but they haven't allowed running backs to go over 100 since week 2. You got to count that as something. You can look that up.
Okay.
I know you guys got 2 good running backs, but let's see if they abandon the run or not. I know the Lions are good on offense. You guys are very similar to the Rams on both sides of the ball. You guys got a better tight end, though. But
okay.
Now, go ahead.
Now let me ask you this question: of the team that y'all played, right? because I'm just curious. How many of those teams you felt committed to running the ball versus the Rams?
You got the Ravens, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the Ravens are damn good at running the ball. The Ravens, but what I'm saying is a lot of teams are since the Rams that came back from their bye, and even before that, because like I said, since week 2, the Rams have been scoring. You kind of got to abandon the run when you're playing the Rams if you allow the Rams to score. So maybe we should talk about yards after the catch from the running backs. I don't know the stats when it comes to that. I can't look it up. But now a lot of teams have been able to run just because I don't think they've been, they just can't. They can't afford to halfway through the game.
So one of the things that I like to do is I like to look at every game and figure out where the games are getting switched at. Hold on one second.
Yeah, Luke's got a point here. I'm looking up games right now for the Rams. A lot of them are not committing to the run. They're just committing to the pass.
And this is one of the issues that I believe has helped the Rams defense look better because they have been so committed to the pass that they have allowed themselves to become one-dimensional. And when you go through and you look at each game, right, and you're just looking at each game, Dan, I'm not saying that you say anything wild or nothing like that. But when you go through and you look at each game, starting with your first game of the season, they ran the ball 18 times, right, in that game. And the score got out of hand, and they couldn't do anything because they couldn't pass. They were passing too damn much, the Seattle Seahawks. But in that game, Kenneth Walker had 12 carries for 64 yards. And he averaged 5.3 yards a carry, as long as it was 15 yards. They didn't feed him enough. They just didn't. And when you look at that same game, the Rams ran the ball 40 times and threw it 38. So
to give an example here, I'm looking at the Giants and the Rams game, which they won. Tyrod Taylor threw over 41 times. They only ran the ball 14 times. So, no one's committing.
Okay, but to be fair, you got to ask yourself why. There's a lot of teams in a row that's been doing this against the Rams and not running the ball. So,
I think when you have a passing lead, you're going to get those numbers. But the Lions are playing more traditional ball by running it so much. So you're going to get a different look with them running the ball. You know what I mean? Like they're not your traditional team, like just coming out, airing it out. And so, it's just one of the things where you have to be, truthful about that. Now, let me ask you this. What do you think is the best matchup the Rams have that you think is going to exploit the Lions?
I think that one's easy, and I don't think anybody can really disagree with this. It's just, and it goes for both sides, both teams. It's the secondary for both teams. So I'm not gonna. I heard you say, the Rams receivers aren't fast, but when you're great at route running, you don't need to be as fast as Tyreek Hill, and Cooper Kupp is one of the best at route running. And,
no, I agree with the route running. Listen, this is one of the reasons why I don't believe in taking receivers in the first round unless they're such a generational talent. But I agree with the route running. I'm talking about what our weaknesses is. If you got a guy who can streak up the field, you probably can get that ball deep because our cornerbacks have issues with that. But the route running part, this is where teams have gotten in trouble. They have sat on balls. This is why we getting these interceptions and stuff. And they have done that by making sure that they can move the pocket with the quarterback, which Stafford will move. And Stafford, because I love me some Stafford, but until this game is over, is Ephraim. He's known for gambling, and I like that. You know what I mean? Like I like that. I'm just asking you, when you talk about the secondary, you feel like both secondaries are suspect, but are you concerned with the Lions' weapons attacking your secondary?
Oh yeah, I expect Amon-Ra, your best wide receiver to go over 100. I can see that definitely happening. I can see him getting close to 161, but that doesn't itself win you the game. So,
okay, shout out to my man Lions Talk from over on Chat Sports over there, aka also Lions Nation Unite. He gave me a congratulations on the new baby that's on the way. Be here somewhere around July, somewhere in that area. So shout out to you.
And also the Rams are suspect against the middle of the field tight end wise, but Laporta's kind of dinged up, so I don't really, I think the Rams can
All
kind
I can say is Laporta's a hell of a drug.
Hold on, Will. Let him finish.
If Laporta was 100% healthy, I would be a little bit more worried for my Rams. But since he's not, I just think we can kind of like focus more on Amaran. So, other than that, who you guys got? Reynolds and Williams, who don't show up every time. They show up. They take turns showing up. The only one that's 100% consistent is Laporta, the running backs, and Amaran. But I don't know how long you guys are going to commit to that run. And I heard you talking about the Lions' run D. I know they've been good. I know they've been suspect against the deep ball. I mean, the big play, but good against the run. But do you know who's the second best running back in the league since he's been back? Is Kyren Williams. He got hurt in the middle of the season, came back. He's just behind McCaffrey and stats since he's been back, not the overall season. So I don't know if you knew that, but we gotta consider everything.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But go ahead.
No, go ahead. I want to hear you guys.
Well, and then I'll let you go next. I feel like that's a good point you bring up about the running back. The problem is I'm telling you, if it's one thing I can tell you is I feel like I know McVay really well. McVay knows how to create the moments surrounding certain things, and his talks, I guarantee you, have been about, hey, y'all, Matt's coming back. They're going to be upset. The fans are going to be wild. It's been 30 years, blah, 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 blah. We got to support Matt and get behind Matt. And I think you're going to see a game where you're going to be asking yourself, why are we not running the ball more? And I think the reason for that is that, they're not allowing it for it to happen. So that's off rip.
I don't know
how it goes. So, I just think that's how it is.
I would say if we abandon the run, if any side of the team abandons the run, if any team does, if they don't run the ball as much as we're used to seeing either team run the ball, I would say it's because it's turning into a shootout because of the secondaries on both sides of the ball. I don't think McVay wants to go with that whole Stafford narrative. I think, if anything, it might get in Stafford's head, and McVay's just going to be like, man, dude, chill. But I think the coaches are going to be coaches, and the players, we're going to see how they feel emotionally wise. But I think it could be a shootout. And I think the running backs are going to have to get involved in the passing game, not just less on the run game, more in the passing game. And,
let me ask you one more question before I let Will go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you one more question before I let Will go. Give me your score. How did you see this game going? Rams what?
Score?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go for the Rams to win. And I think only one of them gets in. I think 31-28.
Oh, you really do got to shoot out. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Will, give your question, then I'm going to let our next guest in.
Oh, I was just making a comment about Toradol and what a hell of a painkiller it is for from what I can tell when they say, oh, he might be, when someone's questionable, there's legitimately still hurt. They're just playing with a lot of painkillers on them. And it probably will affect his play a little bit. I'm not too worried on that end. The other thing I was actually looking at, since you brought it up, the inside zone, outside zone for Kyren Williams. I mean, outside zone, he's averaging 6.3 yards a carry. Inside zone, he's averaging 5.9 yards a carry. So, very, very effective at those runs. The only issue is we are allowing 3.5 yards a carry and 3.7 yards a carry on those type of runs as well. So, it's even though he's been the very effective runner of the ball, he's going up against a defense who is number one in rush DVOA for a reason, is number 2 in rush yards allowed for a reason.
All right, shout out to my man Tom Groncy. This brother over here works his behind off. He may be a Packers YouTuber, but this brother has done charity work when he did visit all of the Lions stadiums. And my guest left, but I don't know what happened to him. He visited all the Lions stadium. I'm not the Lions. He visited all of the NFL stadiums to raise money for St. Jude. He's done so many other charitable things. This dude does one of my great segments is fans reacting to certain things. He's funny as hell. He says, best of luck tonight. Appreciate that time. And appreciate you coming through, shouting it out. We got a Facebook user who says, I like the Lions safeties deep. That's a hell of a rotation. They're going to get some picks off Stafford. I agree.
I think CJ being back is huge for us, for Stafford. I think he can absolutely shut him down. Also, big fan of Tom Grassi. I'm sorry, urinating tree, that your Steelers made the playoffs, but Steelers win Super Bowl.
Yeah, my whole thing with the whole running debate we just had with that Rams fan, let's not get it twisted here. Like, we have two very capable running backs, and we didn't even talk about our O-line and how they are very versatile, and they move and they pull and they just create enough space to where those guys can run. We've seen Jahmyr Gibbs break ankles once he gets going in that secondary. And then again, you also have Montgomery, who's no slouch, man. Another guy who, if he gets it into the secondary, it's going to be a long day for that Ram secondary and defense. So yeah, I think we are going to. It's all about the trenches, right? I think Dan Campbell's old school. He wants to win at the trenches. So I expect a lot of run in today, and then we lull them to sleep, and then Goff rips the roof off that thing. That's what we've been doing all year. And once that secondary starts creeping up, it's curtains for the Rams. So me personally, I think this game will be over with at halftime. I think we'll neutralize the Rams before halftime. Our boys are ready for the game. The city's ready for the game. And what better way to do it against Stafford and McVay Sunday night? I am so juiced for this game. Yeah, and even if the tight end, even if we get a 90% Sam Laporta, he's a very good decoy. We saw him do it on the goal line last week, where he kind of, like, I don't know, I think he went for a block, missed the block, got up, ran a route. Yeah, man, I think what we're not talking about is the two offensive gurus in Ben Johnson and McVay. What Ben Johnson are we going to get? Are we going to get that 40-point a game Ben Johnson, where he's like, everything he calls is just like working? That's the Ben Johnson I want this game. And I don't even care. Again, I want us to run the score up. I want us to leave no doubt with this, whether it's running the ball, like Luke's point earlier. If it's fourth and we're on a 10-yard line, man, hand the ball off. Let the boys get in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't leave any points out there, man. If we see we're getting 5 yards of carry, man, just keep going, man. Keep inserting your dominance, man.
Yeah, and again, we got another Rams fan in here. I'm not knocking his hustle. I love the conversation.
Come in too.
There's a link that is pinned on this comment section where all you need is a microphone, a telephone that got a mic and internet connection. You can join. You just put your name as it shows up on YouTube and be a part of the conversation. Like, that just is what it is. Dan, let me ask you another question, because I'm curious. When you looking at this game, obviously you're rooting for your team to win. Let's be honest. On defense, who scares you? For the Lions defense, who scares you?
Man, honestly, I don't really know too much about the Lions defense except their secondary giving up big plays just like us. But I do know about Hutchins. And that's it, because like I said, I don't really know too much about it. And their whole run defense, But Kyron Williams, I don't know if he's late in the season, he was averaging 4 yards before contact. And that's credit to our offensive line. So let's see which line, which side of the ball wins that battle. But Hutchinson's. We need to protect Stafford, and I'll say this too, because I don't know how long I'm going to be on here. I like your guys' coach. I like that he goes for it on fourth down. I like it when any team goes for it on fourth down, especially near the goal line, because even if they don't get it, they're pinning the other offense back. I
agree.
Possession ends.
True.
So to me, it's like get 3 points or potentially get a safety or 3 and out, because the other team's just going to be trying to get away from that goal line once they get their ball. So I like that. I don't really like the whole going for it fourth in your own territory, but whatever, I overall I like that fourth down shit. So
Yeah, I love it too, man. I love that you came on to have the conversation. I love that you found the channel. I hope you subscribe because I do leave it open for people to come in and talk sports regardless. As long as we keep it sports, you come in talking religion, politics, and all that other BS, I'm gonna clown you and it's not gonna be fun. So, but as long as we're talking ball, let's talk ball. And I was happy. I'm like, man, I hope he joined. I really hope he joined. And so for you to, first of all, to be driving through the mountains as a person who's done that before, kudos to you, because my intention be like Spider-Man. I'm trying to see if rock sliding and everything. You hear me? And for you to be doing it and you just casually on the phone, kudos to you for jumping in and having the conversation about your team and what you expect from. I hope more Rams fans jump in and have this conversation and point out things that they believe is going to win this game.
Hey, honestly, I don't see a lot of Rams fans talking. Like I'll be on TikTok and YouTube, and I'm looking for clips and live videos all the time. I see a lot more Lions fans talking, Cowboys fans talking, Niner fans talking, and they've been the loudest so far, man. I didn't really see a lot of other teams talking. So I don't know if
that scares me. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but for today, they need to be real loud. they need to be historically loud. We should be forcing the referees into throwing flags on us again because the stadium is too loud. Y'all can't get a playoff. We need to go back to them days where they started to tick the referees off. That's what I'm saying.
No, yeah, Lions have been loud the last week and a half. The fans, I've been hearing them. I've been hearing Cowboys and Niners fans too. The Rams fans, I don't know if they just think this is I don't know what they think, but I think it's gonna be close and a shootout. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay.
That's all. Yeah.
Shout out to Man Hour, my man Buck over here, Man Hours, who is sponsoring me and who helps make these videos possible. So shout out to Man Hour. He had to come in earlier and say Rams win. That's all. Leave it to Buck to stir the pot. Dan, my man, jumped on my Facebook page. Rams are talking. he said you got to go check it out, Dan. They definitely over there barking.
Yeah, I guess I don't. Shit. Hey, but I can tell you my pick. Let me tell you my picks real quick.
All right, I'm listening.
Man, I know the Cowboys are better on paper, but I'm rooting for the Packers today because I don't care who takes the Cowboys out, just take them out because they are,
Agreed.
even though I don't think they're going all the way. I think, my honestly opinion, if the Lions were to somehow beat the Rams today, let's just say they win, I'm going for the Lions the rest of the playoffs. I'm going for the Lions and the Texans on the AFC side. But if the Rams win, I'm going for the Rams. I'm not one of those fans that turn off the TV once my team is out the playoffs. I enjoy football. Yeah, so I'm going for the Packers. I like the underdogs. I don't think the Steelers have a chance though against the Bills, and I'm going for the Bucks. Yeah, that's
so you got Bucks, Bills, Rams.
Yeah.
Did you bet on this? Did you put money on it?
Nah, I ain't got.
Okay, good. I was gonna tell you if you was in the mood of giving money away, I'm taking all donations. I take the donations and help people who really need it. So that's what it is for me. All right, I appreciate it, brother. If you got a little bit more you can talk about, I'm all down for it. If you gotta go, I'm all down for it. I don't, like I said.
Let me say this real quick about. I know it's the Lions channel, but when it comes to the reason why I want somebody to take the Cowboys out, because if the Rams do go deep, I feel like the Niners are better than the Cowboys, but I feel like the Rams got a better matchup with the Niners than they do the Cowboys. That's why I want the Cowboys out because they're familiar with the Niners, and the Cowboys are a foreign team. Let's just say that to the Rams that they can put up some points, and the Rams might not have an answer, but we got answers for the Niners, and yeah, that's why I'm going for the Packs today.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me be honest. I think the Packers are gonna beat them too. I don't know why. I just watched this game, and I think the Packers is gonna upset the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys have been fortunate in a lot of these games. I got friends who are Cowboy fans. They are like all the rest of the Cowboy fans, obnoxious and ridiculous. I love them to death, but sweet Jesus, like, come on.
Yeah, I kind of got them winning too. That front seven of the Packers is scary, man. They're not getting enough credit, and we gave the league the blueprint on how to at least be competitive with them at home. So I'm with you, Luke. I think the Packers have a shot.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
So,
think I heard a crazy. Sorry.
Go ahead, Cranston.
I think I heard a crazy stat from 97.1 The Ticket about the Cowboys and Packers. Every time they've met in the playoffs, I think the Green Bay Packers have taken them out at least 8 times in a row. They have yet to beat the Packers in the playoffs. I don't know how accurate that statement is, but it was some crazy stat like that.
Yeah, I like this question right here from Wolfgang. He says, why is nobody talking about how the Rams are planning to stop the Lions offense? They all talking about how Detroit is going to stop Stafford. See, I think the focus is not Detroit stopping Stafford, but Detroit forcing the game to be on Stafford's shoulder and taking the run game away in his number one option in Cup. For me, I think if the Rams are going to beat the Lions, they're going to have to get in and hit the quarterback. They got to hit Goff. I think if they're going to win this game, they got to hit Goff. They got to run the ball, and they got to keep the game close. See, the longer the game stays close, the better it is for them. We can't have this game be close because that's not going to work.
Exactly.
So that just is. Let me bring this guest in because he's came in a few times. I've seen some of his comments and stuff. Let me just put this disclaimer out there, brother. If you come in here with some silly stuff, you're going to get your feelings hurt. I promise you, you're going to get your feelings hurt. Let me bring you in. He's going by Nasty Canada. What up, brother? What you got for us?
Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for the live streams you do and that stuff and all the topics you guys talk about. You know, I really think the Lions, even though I live in Canada, I think it's this year the Lions take it right to the bowl and win it.
You got us going to the Super Bowl?
Oh, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl. It's going to be Detroit Lions in the bowl.
You know what? With that kind of talk, you can come on again.
I mean, hey, dude, shout out to Canada.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I mean, so again, let me ask you this then, Canada. What do you think? What is it that you're seeing that gives you this hope for the Lions? What is it that's standing out to you football wise that's giving you this hope?
Dan Campbell, the coach itself. You know, he came in. He had to revive the team. He had to do new plays and stuff that you see. I'm a Canadian and I watch CFL, but American football, as you see it, the players are clicking on all cylinders. There's no fighting on the sidelines. They're happy after every game, even if they lose. You know the team has got poise. They've got everything in their bag to win it tonight.
Okay. And I personally think that they have everything to win it too. I think that, like I said, I honestly believe, and again, to Wolfgang's point, how do you see it going the other way? The Lions have to shoot themselves in the foot, and that's just the truth. The offense cannot get stagnant. It just can't do it. And if the offense don't get stagnant, we're just – but you cannot get stagnant by running the ball. You cannot get stagnant by, using the matchup that you have to your advantage to go against every, the other team's matchups. When you start shooting yourself in the foot, the game becomes longer. When you allow the game to stay close, the game becomes harder. And at that point, that's where we have to kind of look at it. Now, leave it to my sponsor, Buck. but what the hell is this hatchet? Give me a second, gentlemen. I got to bring in my sponsor and one of my biggest supporters. This dude, love him to death. Wait till y'all see. Now, mind y'all, he is a fan of this team, so he's rapping his team. Make no mistake about it. All right. And shout out to Lions Talk Live. I see you on there. He says, go Lions. Hey, we're gonna have to get that collab going soon. Let me bring in Buck, my sponsor. Buck, I know you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan, bro. Did you come in here with the hat on?
Yeah. Would you like me to put on a Super Bowl hat?
Wow.
I do understand like y'all have never seen one. But
you get
Look nasty. You're diabolical. Oh my goodness.
What you got for me, brother? Talk to me.
Listen,
I'm gonna give you the solo layout.
Yeah, so I know a lot of y'all been kind of hyping up your Lions as like a tad bit, and I do understand Jared Goff is leading the league, 4th in passing, if I'm not mistaken, 4th or 5th in touchdowns too. Jared Goff has kind of been the man all season long. So many people are saying that this is going to be a defensive battle. But, Luke, I got to ask you the question.
Okay.
Do you think it is going to be an offensive shootout? And can the Lions really go toe-to-toe with Matthew Stafford and the Rams if they do get into offensive shootout?
I feel like this is this is a Goku versus whoever battle, and the Lions are Goku. I'm not worried about a shootout. I don't expect a shootout. I expect the Lions to win this game convincingly. I expect for them to get the lead, never waver on that lead, and close this game out. I expect for them to go Super Saiyan 27,000 and have the Rams over there looking like he just went 9,000. I want them to come out in full focus mode. It's been 30 years. We have never won the NFC North until this year. You're going to have a bunch of people who are already out right now, even though it's like 20 degrees outside here, who are absolutely liquored up and stoned and ready to cause all kind of havoc. Okay.
Right.
I suspect that this game would not be close and the Lions will win by 2 or more scores.
Okay. So the last time a lot of Lions fans thought that, week 2, Seattle Seahawks overtime loss, right? Week, what was it, 13, 14, when you guys went out to LA and played the Chargers, many people thought that was going to be a blowout. It took pretty much a man-sized 4th down call by Dan Campbell to basically seal that deal for the Lions in that particular win. So I've been kind of thinking, if it gets into an offensive shootout, does Dan Campbell have the cojones to stop the bleeding again? And I don't think you can against the Rams because like, if you try to defend the pass, they still got that their tailbacks are, their young players are really, really good right now, what I'm trying to say. Their receivers are really good, their running backs are really good, and you have a veteran leader like Matthew Stafford. The Rams are a very, very good team. Started off slow, peaked at the right time, and they are at their peak performance right now. The Detroit Lions are still kind of trying to suffer from that loss, though, from the Dallas Cowboys. Because I see a lot of Lions fans on my page every day. The refs cheated us. The refs cheated us. The refs cheated us. You guys are still living 3 weeks ago. You got a big playoff game now.
So I think that a lot of the points that you bring up are valid points if we were talking regular season.
Okay.
You're talking about a game that's not a usual game for not only the Lions, but not the Lions fans. And you're talking about a game that is fueled by the fact that many people are picking the Rams team to beat them. It's fueled by the fact that they were cheated multiple times, not just this last time against the Cowboys, but multiple times against the Cowboys. It's fueled by this idea that the Lions are the Lions, and so they don't need to get these calls, and they don't need to get these breaks, they don't need to get these things. And I think the reality is this: that same team you speak of, I noticed that you managed to skip over the first game of the year where there wasn't a shootout and the game was close, and the Lions found a way to not only win, but win on the road in Arrowhead. And we went straight to the Seahawks game. Well, let me tell you about the Seahawks game and what happened in there. The Lions never committed to the run. And since that game, they have committed to the run. They have focused on the run. They have used the run to nauseam and used that to set up many other plays. And I just think that when you look at today's game, the crowd is going to be phenomenal. That's going to cause a little bit of problems for the Rams. And I think when you get on offense, when you look at them, you're going to see an offense that every time they score, the crowd is going to become more and more drunk and enraged with what we're doing. So that's what I think is going to happen.
So hopefully they got the heaters fixed up there in your Pride land. I went to the game at Arrowhead last night. They literally opened up a beer and it volcanoed, icicled over. So I am still cold from last night.
I actually picked the Dolphins to beat y'all, and then I found out that it was called. I ain't have time to switch in my pick'em league, and I was like, damn it. Because I knew that was going to be when they said it was cold there, it was cold. It's cold here, but obviously we in the dome. So, but hey, I can't get mad at you.
I'm going to tell you something. There is no difference between -7 and -28. It's cold, it's cold, and it's cold some more.
I hear that, but he says no different. They still both cold. Shout out to two guys in the podcast. He says Dallas put up 43 points on the Rams. And the Rams barely beat the Giants. Come on, stop with the undue hype. At one point, people had Tampa the hottest team in the league. and we went there and won. I mean, what you say to that, Buck?
Listen, I think. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say the Cowboys Rams game, that was different part of the season. Stafford didn't even play the whole game. I can't remember if we even had Kyron Williams in that game.
They didn't have Cooper Kupp yet either. He was still on IR.
Have Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
So I mean, it was a whole different part of the season. I mean, the Rams have been different the last 8 games of the season, 7 and 8 in the last 8 games. So we're one of the hottest teams. You see the Eagles right now. We're the opposite of that. So
you shouldn't be struggling against the Giants, though, dude. Come on.
It was cross country, all the excuses. All I know is that we won, and I can say that.
What's your pizza special tonight?
Shout out to let me let my man Nasty Canada get his pizza order.
Okay, well, I might order one for the game tonight. Okay.
Are you ordering from Pizza?
My man Nasty Canada ordered the pizza. I'm gonna let him back in when he done with his phone call. I appreciate it. I needed that one. Lions Talk Live. He says, "Say when, Luke G, and that would be fun. You can hit me up on IG or Twitter. Shoot me a DM, and we'll get this thing set up, and we come on talk some ball. We're going to have a lot to talk about after the day because the Lions will then be on their way to looking at who they're going to play next, and I'm feeling really good about it. So, get your popcorn ready. Get yourself together. Do as my man Nasty Canada has done and order you that pizza. Get you some wings now. Don't just get the pizza. You can't just have a bunch of damn bread. You need wings. And going from there. Dan, obviously Buck is on your side. Buck is predicting that the Rams are going to win. But take it with a grain of salt. He's a Chiefs fan. His level, he's up there right now. He's up there.
My head can barely stick on my shoulders right now because I've been telling everybody all season long, this is the most dangerous Chiefs team that you've ever seen because you have not seen us at our peak performance yet. Our receivers haven't caught the ball yet. Last night, my man Rashid Rice decides to catch a ball, and look what happens. I'm just telling you.
And that's what it is. Shout out to my man Stephen Flake. He said Detroit style pizza is the only style, no matter what the toppings. Hey,
no,
if you ain't eat.
Man, you're gonna make me get buddies now, dang it. Now you're talking pizza, damn it.
The best pizza out there is New York style, hands down.
Look, we starting a whole pizza conversation. Let me go to my next question. I'm really curious about this because
I believe
that football. Listen, be safe out there, Buck. Appreciate you. Sir. That's Buck, my sponsor from Man Hour. So shout out to him. Buck, my man Lions Talk Live said you better get you a Mountain Dew too. Let me see if my man Canada ready. Canada.
Yo, sorry about that. I forgot I was on.
Listen, if you hungry, you gotta eat. I ain't gonna never be mad. But we got people that said, did you get the wings? Did you order some wings and a Mountain Dew?
No, I got type 2 diabetes, so I gotta watch what I eat for wings. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, right now, I'll show you. Like, here, I'll move my webcam. I'm working in my business right now. I'm the pawn shop owner.
Listen, my man is at work getting in on the action. Shout out to my man Nasty Canada. They want to know, did you at least order some cheese bread? If you didn't get the wings, did you order some cheese bread to go with that pizza?
Oh, I will. I'll get the extra marinara sauce, 2 Diet Dr. Peppers, and some other things. I got to ball out tonight. Gotta make it rain. You gotta get the food going with the football. Like yesterday's games, I knew Miami they weren't going to take it. I knew Texans were. They had it all there, and you know what? It's a Cinderella story for Shroud there for Texans quarterback. He's doing great. He's a phenomenal quarterback. I wish that Canadians had football like NFL. I wish we did.
Yeah, I don't know why Toronto doesn't have a team yet. I mean, you got every other sport in Toronto.
You know what blows my mind about the NFL? We're trying to establish football in the UK. Not saying it's a bad idea, but why are we not trying to do it next door? Like, they got a basketball team, so why not
a baseball team? Like,
well, we have a football, Toronto Argonauts, but they're not that good.
Not NFL though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about like an NFL team. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think they don't do it, because they have the CFL. So that's what I'm saying.
Well, we had an American team years ago called the Baltimore Stallions when they did the expansion. If you look it up. And that was an American team that literally kick the shit out of our Canadian teams.
I hear that. I hear that. All right, let me see. My man Easy Does It says deep dish is the way. I'm hearing a lot of Chicago deep dish. That's from Michael Rimmer. He said, Chicago deep dish. Everybody is literally like up here having this debate about what's the best pizza. I as long as it got freaking sauce and cheese, I'm pretty much okay. I'm not hard.
Some tough crust.
I mean,
Yeah,
let me ask this though. I do want to ask this question because I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. I just need a matchup. I'm gonna go through every single person and ask this question before we get into it. Starting with you, Crimson. What's the matchup? What's the number one matchup that needs like that you see can be a deciding factor in this game for who's gonna win it?
What do you mean by matchup? Like a Rams player versus Lions player?
However you see it. If you think it's going to be Rams defense versus Lions rushing attack or Lions defense versus Rams rushing attack, what's the matchup that you can look at and make you say, if this matchup happened, that's going to decide the game?
What's going to decide the game? It's going to be our corners. If we keep letting in deep balls like we have been, and Stafford's a specialist in that, that's going to be a deciding factor, and there's going to be a shootout. We could be looking at maybe a 40-plus score if we let stuff like that get away, if Sutton lets them go. But I can definitely see us winning more. We've got way too many weapons on offense, though. I don't see their defense shutting us down.
All right, what say you, Rumble? What's the matchup for you?
Yeah, I believe it starts in the trenches. I mean, look, the Rams have a depleted O-line. They're dealing with some injuries on that O-line. And our guys are starting to get hot. You got Hutch heating up at the right time. Aleem's heating up at the right time. I think we saw Pascal and Levi have some plays last game as well. But yeah, and then again, our offensive line too, man. We have to neutralize their defensive line. And I think we have a slight nod on both of our sides of the ball as far as our D-line and O-line. I believe that matchup happens there. We gotta protect Goff, and then we gotta give Stafford. We gotta give him heat. We gotta bring pressure. So that to me is going to be a huge part of this game, man.
And I'm with Superior Records, who says, yes, pineapples does belong on pizza. I am a fanatic for pineapples on a pizza. I love pineapples and ground beef with Asiago cheese on pizza. And if I really wanted to take it a step further, I would get the pineapples, ground beef on a all veggie pizza. Just putting it out there. That it just do something for me. Dan, what's the matchup that you think is going to decide that game for you? Did I lose Dan? I know the Mountains didn't get him because he's still here. Dan. I'm going to give Dan a minute. Canada, what's the matchup that you say decides the game?
You know what? I'd hate to say it, but turnovers. I'd hate to see them in the playoffs and pick sixes like yesterday's game when Flacco threw back-to-back pick sixes. You don't want to get behind the 8 ball. I know Detroit, if they hold the lead, they're going to hold it. But they can't get behind. It's going to come down to turnovers, I feel. Not missed field goals, but I don't want any turnovers. I want to see high-flying action. I want to see some gritty, the gritty touchdown when they do the gritty and shit in there in the touchdown area. I love that. I want to see some celebrations. I want to see some Terrell Owens celebrations, get your popcorn ready game, sort of hype it up. I was looking on the FanDuel site, and actually Detroit's 74.5% favors right now.
Okay. Well, listen, as long as people know, because when you know, you know. My man Brandon Katz says Detroit could have used bugs in this game. I mean, listen, if you're going to be honest about it, they drafted a D tackle. At some point, he's going to have to play. I'm sorry. If he's not ready to play at being a 3rd round pick, then why are we trading up to get him like we was going to miss out? So I'm not saying you wrong, but we'll be okay. We got my man Hatterhouse who says pineapples for sure belong on pizza. I used to work at Pizza Hut. I used to work at Buddy's. So, yeah, and that's where that addiction came from, working at Buddy's. Fun fact, if you go to Buddy's Pizza and tell them you want a Big Mac pizza, it's not on the menu. It's a secret item. They will make you a pizza that tastes like an actual Big Mac. Just putting it out there. Giovanni Lyon says, Luke disrespects the pizza. Hey, I don't think I did, but I hear you. Wolfgang says his matchup is unlock J-Mo. Yeah, they give up a lot of big plays. You can play that game and do
Here's a
it.
question I have for Dan. How are you guys on the deep game? You know about our deep game, but how is your deep game?
I think
we giving
he
up
back.
some big plays. We're giving up some big play. That's why I said it's very similar to the Detroit Lions giving up the big play, that big deep bomb. It's very similar. That happens almost every game, you know. So almost every game, not every game, but it happens. So that's why I'm saying I see Amaran putting up some stats today. I ain't gonna lie about that. And real quick, when it comes to where is this game won, I think it does come down to the D line on both sides, who can put more pressure on the opposing quarterback. You know, they need to disrupt they need to make each team needs to make each team quarterback feel uncomfortable.
So
and I think that's what it comes down to.
I mean, that's a fair point. Shout out to Calvin Dickerson. He says, "What up, fellas?" Again, Calvin, you may not know this, but every person in here is a subscriber to the channel. You yourself can actually jump in and be a part of the conversation. The link that is pinned at the top only requires you to have internet access and a phone with a microphone, and you can jump in. But he says, "What up, fellas? How can Lions get pressure on Stafford without giving up big plays and controlling the run game?" Here's the thing. They got to do one thing or the other. If they're going to pass the ball, then I can tell you how we get pressure on him. If you're telling me that they're going to run the ball, I'll tell you how we stop the run. So essentially, if they're passing the ball, how do you get pressure on him? Stafford, you just need to put a lot of people in his face. If he sees people in the face of his receivers, he is usually a little bit hesitant to throw, and he goes to his most reliable receiver. He's did this with the Detroit Lions with Calvin Johnson because he trusted Calvin, and he would force a lot of passes to Calvin, even though Calvin will be grossly covered. He's done it also. If you look at the Super Bowl, when he was down to just Cooper Kupp, he was grossly covered, and they went after Cooper Kupp anyway. You have to put people in his face on every level. That's at the linebackers, the front four, in the secondary. In terms of the run game, it's simple. Your linebackers just got to know how to tackle. And as much as we were frustrated with Derek Burns from the Cowboy game, he is a really good run defender. And so he's going to have to get some snaps to be a part of that run stopping defense. In terms of us getting the pressure, Stafford is a guy that you got to hit. If you don't hit him and get him to the ground, it don't matter. He doesn't care about pressure. Pressure is the least of his worries.
Speaking of linebackers, what's your opinion on Jack Campbell now that it's postseason? Do you think he's gotten better, or has he still been the same?
He's gotten better. Before, I could not see a difference between him and Malcolm. And so it was killing me. But now he's gotten better. He's starting to be a little bit more quicker in his decision-making and hitting certain holes. His tackling is getting a little bit better. I'm surprised that his coverage has not improved as much as I've seen from when he came out of college, but it's still there. Overall, I like what I'm seeing out of him, and I expect for him to have a big day too. See, the thing is, remember, they took that guard that I wanted, Avila. Remember, I was like, hey, man, that TCU guard, I want that. They took that guard, and they've been running it off of him a lot. So this is where Aleem McNeil in the linebacker play comes in big, in my opinion. Let me make sure I don't miss nothing else. I want to go through everything else before I hit it.
I'd like to say something. I want to make sure that the refs aren't going to dictate the game tonight.
That's a huge point too. You make a very good point.
I have a bad feeling that some ref is going to be doing some stupid calls and ruining the game with more penalties on the freaking game.
Well, who's the officiating? Who's the officiators tonight?
It won't be the bums who was out there before. What I can say is this. I think what Canada brings up is something that I would look at and I would say, yeah, I don't like games where I feel like the officials have dictated the outcome too much. Let them play. Call what you're supposed to call when it's there, but let them play. And I expect to see some things called there. But to me, if the Lions go out and handle business, get up fast, those calls won't matter. They just won't. All right? That's just what I believe. The Lions don't play until 8:15 tonight. I came on earlier so I can kind of get people in and talk about it. One of the formats to the people who new to the show is whenever I come on the show, before I start the show, I do my suicide prevention message. As a person whose friend has committed suicide, I've taken up that mantle to say, you know what? If somebody need help, I'm available to them in there. And then at the end of the show, I end every show on a positive note because I do not believe that, you can leave something undone without giving a little bit of a positive word. And we do into the final thoughts. And I usually go about 2 hours, so we're a little 10 minutes short of that 2-hour mark. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and give people their final thoughts. Let everybody get ready for the football game because Canada got me over here trying to plot on what I was going to eat. I thought I was originally going to do breakfast food for this game, but now I'm feeling like a Jimmy John's guy right now, so don't y'all dare judge me. And that pizza I did sound good, but I want a Papa John's pizza, and I ain't none in Detroit. So it's, at least if it is, tell me where, but I don't know where none is at. At least not over on the east side that I could think of.
I can't think of any by me either. Now I think about it.
I Googled it many times. I just can't find one. So let me make sure I get it on there. So let's start off with you, Canada. Give the people your final thoughts. And let them know how you see this game going.
You know what? I see them shooting. I don't want to put the Lions down, but I'm going to see that they're going to be nervous the first couple minutes. When they're on the ball, there won't be any turnovers, but I think it'll take the Lions a couple downs to get into the rhythm because this is a playoff game. It's major. It's the first one in years, and the fans are going to be blowing the joint up. The fans will dictate the game too. I want to see some good passing, some good tackling. I want to see pressure on Stafford as much as I don't want the refs to call stupid calls towards Lions. So I think it's going to be a good game. I think Lions are going to blow out the Rams.
Hey, I love it. Dan, my Rams fan who decided, F this, I'm going on to support and rep my team. Give the people your final thought.
Yeah, man. I'm going to say go Rams. I think it's going to be a good game. Possibly a shootout. Yeah, man, the Rams they got a lot of rookies, a lot of good rookies, but we got the experience, the Super Bowl experience just from 2 years ago. So you guys got home field advantage, but we got the experience on our side. I think it's going to be a good game.
Alex says there's a Papa John's on McMurray. Stop playing with me. Let me go look that up, because if that's the case, then I appreciate you, my good brother. I appreciate you. And my man Max, Oxif says, isn't there a Papa John's? I'm not driving to Rochester Hills from Detroit for no Papa John's. By the time I get there, order the pizza, and get home, it's cold as hell. I've been and ate the pizza on my way home. Nah, I think that's a little bit too far of a drive, but I do appreciate it. Green Lantern. I just want the Papa John. That garlic thing looked like it might be worth the money. I just want to see what that tastes like. Firehouse subs, I love them as well. You didn't get too much hate out of me, but you definitely, that Mac and Maross one might work. I might see if I can find that.
I can go for Jersey Mike's.
Listen, if I'm gonna get a sub, it's gonna be Jimmy John's. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Fair.
I like Jersey. Jersey's cool, but I'm going Jimmy John's. Let me go down to my good brother Lions. I can't even call him Lions Rumble because he got on that Uncle Rumble 81. Uncle Rumble. What's your final thoughts, brother?
Yeah, man. I think everybody, this game is it's huge for the city of Detroit and for us fans. And I do believe these guys are going to be pumped. They recognize all the storylines that this game entails. They recognize it. To Crimson's point earlier about Amon-Ra, getting motivated. I believe we're going to be looking at what Dan Campbell and his Lions team did to the Broncos a few weeks back, man. I think he's going to be. He's got these guys so jacked up, man. They're going to be scoring. I think we're going to see a high-scoring game on our end. And kind of like with any defense, if they have a lead, you're going to see a lot more, trying to pick the ball off and trying to punch the ball out. And so I'm super stoked for this game. I got the Lions. Like I said, I got the Lions winning huge, man. I think we finally put up a 40-burger. And we put to bed the legacy of Matt Stafford. And I think Goff and them are going to be victorious tonight in our first home playoff game in over 30 years. So give it the Lions. I like the Lions. And yeah, man, go One Pride, man. Thanks for the chat. Thanks to you again, Luke. Appreciate you, man. And you guys enjoy the game. And those of you who are out, if you guys go out, remember to Uber back. Don't be out there drinking and driving, man. That's my little tidbit. Thanks again, Luke.
Oh, everyone's muted here.
Oh, no, that's my fault. That's my fault. I was up here reading these comments, and my son came up here talking about some daddy. Is the Lions playing yet? And I said, no, son, they play tonight.
But I say you gotta play you some Pokemon before you freaking.
He's a little upset because he's trying to figure out why it's taking so long for the Lions to play. It's not my fault, son. I don't make the schedule. I just you know.
Yeah, I get that. Shoot, I gotta watch freaking Red Wings hockey at 7. Then I'm gonna have to cut it short because they're playing at 7. The Lions are on at 8. I'm like, who the heck? This is terrible timing.
Listen, I love a good hockey game, but football's my first love. It just
Marcus
it's
Willis.
in my wedding vows.
Look at Marcus Willis, Luke.
Hey, I saw what he said. Look, somebody gonna go get him a mayo and ketchup sandwich. You know,
he had to
Luke
ruin
don't play
Jimmy
with no ketchup
Sandberg.
around here. Shout out to my man Steven. He said sub and thank y'all. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the sub. Y'all are going to bed so sad tonight. Go Rams. Eddie got the Ram loafers. Hey, okay. We'll see about
Really
that.
fun guy. Hey,
I'll
man.
be here tomorrow talking about the outcome of the game. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe notification bell. Crimson, give the people your final thought.
Final thoughts is I've waited for this for 20 freaking years for us to win the division and actually have a home. This is the first time I've ever seen it the entire time I've been born. As old as I am, I've never seen us win the division. So it's like this is freaking magical to see, and I don't want this to end. I don't care if we got to play the Packers. I don't care if we got to play the Cowboys next time. I expect us to be there. If we got to play the Packers for a third time, come at us, Tom Grossi. We'll go for a rematch. It's hard for anyone to win 3 games in a row. We're going to beat you twice. Go Lions.
I hear that. Shout out to my man Dad. Dad says he going to sub because he want to see what the excuses going to be after the game. With me, ain't no excuses, but I'm going to call it like I see it. That's one thing about me.
True.
You know. Luke prefers ketchup instead of sauce on his pizza. The lies that we tell. The devil's a liar. Okay, that's not true.
God, if someone did that to you without knowing, oh my God.
Man, listen. And for people who don't know, there may or may not have been an incident involving a rental car and a ketchup bottle in a hot Arizona heat that exploded. That may or may not have involved me. I don't know. Let's just say I'm not a fan of ketchup. I have never associated myself with ketchup, and for those reasons, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Thank you everybody for joining me. I know it was like a short notice stream, but everybody showed up from all the people in the YouTube world, from Tom to my man Mike Kimber to Bandit to 2 guys on the podcast to Lions Fan Express to Rumble. I mean, every person who's jumped in and shown love, I appreciate you so much. I don't end the show as I end on a positive note. Today's positive quote comes from the internet. I can never figure out who these people are, but when I see it, I like what I hear. Life is about choices. How you choose to move through life will determine how life chooses to treat you. I think this is an important quote because we often move through life and we put ourselves in positions to think that life just wants to get us down. But life has always been a submissive thing. See, you can conquer life if you change perspective. You can beat up on life and get everything you want out of life when your perspective is different about life. And many of you have sold yourself short. This is why you haven't started investing this year, because you were afraid of losing the money. This is why many of you who wanted to start businesses didn't start businesses, because you were afraid to do the research. Some of you wanted to lose weight, but there was too much for you to eat healthy. See, I figured out that the way you treat life is how life will treat you. Perspective is what sets this up. It's the idea that you can conquer anything if you decide to do so. But when you allow for life to win every step of the way, life will win. Life loves to take easy wins. Life loves to put itself in position to show you what is and what is not. It is up to you to tell life that this is not how it's going to go. It's up to you to tell life that, yeah, that was your story. Let me show you what the real Arthur of this story looks like. And it is up to you to take advantage of life. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming in, rocking with me. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. I will be back on tomorrow talking about the outcome of the game, win, lose, or draw, giving you everything up front, honestly and truthfully. And since how I believe that the Lions are going to win this game by more than 2 scores, I'm going to go Lions win. I don't give a care what it is. It ain't going to be close. Go Lions. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research. I'm out.